of the grid. Watch the start. This will be good. Johnny Bow will want to be there. Larry Perkins will do it. The BMW will get swallowed up. The GTS should come off the line like a rocket. Here we go. Richards puts the power down, gets it a little sideways down. Brock on the outside, squeezes up and takes Larry Perkins on side by side. Mazira gets a good start. Oh, Perkins gets hustle and muscle and pushed back a bit. Plenty of push and shove going on.
Thomas Mazira got a good start there, and he, Cotter, I think that is.
Cotter off the circuit already. A touch in the first corner.
Yeah, Thomas squeezed Tony Longhurst going into the first chicane, so he got a great start, and Tony's actually back now in fourth.
P. Brock getting a little aggressive today, wants to be in the action. Dick Johnson doing a good job. Alan Jones working his way through from the rear of the grid. Jimmy Richards, though, gentlemen, Jim, replay first corner.
Yeah, you know, that's so easy to do there. It's a very, very big ripple strip. I'm not sure whether it's Peter. Yeah, it's Peter Dorman, so called the wrong guy. But, you know, it's so easy to do at that particular part of the track.
Round they come, and this will be an interesting 110 lap, so it's all go on the big pedal this time round. It's a sprint.
Yeah, Jim got a very, very good start. Obviously, the car gets off the line very good, and it's the last run for the Winfield Distance today, so, you know, he won't be letting Bowie get past too easy.
Last run for the GTS, the best touring car in the world in its class, no doubt about that. The Ford Sierra of Johnny Bow comes up sideways, under brakes, won't get through there, tries to get the run out now as he puts the boot into it. Richards holds it down though with the GTS.
Yeah, well, you know, our car there, as you can see, got monstered down the straight, and, you know, Bowie's car in these conditions, as I said before, will be very, very good. It's very fast down the straight. It's the most horsepower and the lightest car in that little group.
Last appearance for both of these cars, with looking at the end of an era here on the streets of Adelaide. Bow tucks up behind Jimmy Richards. Richards puts the boot into it. Bow says, I've got the turbo up today and I'll come after you. Thomas Mazira doing very well. He's up into third place. Much better performance. Larry Perkins, Longhurst. Brock is shattering the little yellow BMW.
Yeah, Tony will be the most affected by the performance of the other cars. Because of the race is shorter, the bigger cars will be going better, and Tony will be coming back in the field a little bit, Darrell.
High-speed train now as they make their way around this very, very demanding track here with touring cars. Walls everywhere. You have a moment like Glenn Seaton had yesterday. El Bango, big problems, lots of money.
There's not too many places to go, you know. Obviously, this place is like driving in a tunnel, so as soon as you have a little off, it's always a big one.
And you had that experience.
Thanks for bringing that up.
I keep reminding you.
You do.
Jimmy Richards, smooth as silk, this fellow. Johnny Bow will really start to test him out under brakes at the end of the circuit. Thomas Mazira, I think, has done a fabulous job to get the car there in front of Larry Perkins, who was the hotshot yesterday, sitting on pole.
Yeah, and just there now, you'll probably see Brock go past Tony Longhurst too. So here we go. We've got a bit of action on here with a bit of weaving.
Johnny Bow has a look, weaves away, gets himself up that inside run again. That's what he wants to do, get the power down early and come on that inside line. Doesn't work, though. Jimmy's got him covered.
Yeah, the traction of the car is so good out of those slow corners. So Jim would come back to first slot and just come out of there with, you know, the four-wheel drive characteristic makes a big difference. Evenly
matched here on the streets of Adelaide. The Sierra, a lot better today in the cooler conditions.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see, Bowie's doing a great job, and he's hooked Thomas Mazira, the boys, wheels locked. Richo up on the ripple strip.
Larry Perkins locked them all up. Had blue smoke pumping out from the rubber. As they come on to lap 3, Bow makes another move, takes a different line. Jimmy Richards keeps him covered. Mazira is catching them up while they're dicing. It's all helping the Holden driver. Perkins now, he's in there. 1, 2, 3 and 4. The BMW dropping off the pace.
This is great stuff with Jim and John Bow having such a hard run there at the moment. Thomas Mazira and Larry Perkins are both catching, so it'll be a 4-car struggle in a minute.
I would think Johnny Harvey might have given Thomas Mazira a little tickle up last night, because he was not happy with their performance when he and Brad Jones came together and took each other out of the race. So Thomas Mazira fired up in the big Holden today in the black and white car, running in third spot. That's the view Larry Perkins has of that really big spoiler on the back of the car.
I thought he was going to give the Castrol sign a rub then, but it's interesting there. That's the 93 car spec that Thomas Mazira is in, and Larry's is the 92 car that he's been running all year. So basically, that's the cars you'll see next year in a Commodore sense, is the car that Thomas is in.
Alan Jones is up to 13th. Big run from AJ. He wants to wring its neck today and come good. Look at this. Good shot down now as Mazzara is being challenged by Perkins. He shut the door on Perkins. Jimmy Richards has Johnny Bow all over him like the proverbial wet blanket from behind. Bowie is really monstering him everywhere he can.
Yeah, the big advantage here now, as I said before, is really the traction of the car. So Bowie can get alongside in places, but Richo's slowing him up. You watch him here. Slows him up, gasses it out of the slow corner, gets a... Well, we probably run up on the strip a little bit too much, but usually the exit there is very, very good, and that's the advantage the car's got.
Yeah, Jimmy Richards says no one drives better with the head than Jimmy Richards in this country. Johnny Bow sits in behind him again. Mazzara is getting the benefit out of all of this because while they're dicing, he's closing the gap. And he's now made a little bit of a gap on Perkins. Has dropped off. Now the BMW coming back into contention. He's certainly caught up a little too. Tony Longhurst.
Yeah, Tony's got free of Peter Brock there, so now he's out on his own. And while these guys are dicing, probably Tony's going as fast as anybody else in the race. But now he's by himself, as you can see. He's really pressing on around that left-hander then.
Love these cars around the streets of Adelaide. They are something else, aren't they?
They are great, aren't they? They really are a spectacle because it's such a good circuit to drive around. And, you know, the cars obviously slip and slide so much that they really look fantastic.
So the big crowd turned out to see the Ford Holden battle. Well, of course, the Ford of Dickie Johnson's came here to Adelaide just 2.5 days after being rebuilt. Actually, it's the second car that they've developed. It is over the weight limit at the moment. A lot more development to happen on the car. And it had only had 11 laps around the Lakeside circuit before getting here to Adelaide. So a little bit hard to expect a position, well, better than what he's doing now in 10th spot. But it's an exciting-looking motor car.
Well, it is. You know, the car's so new, and all these other cars that are in front of him have been here for a fair few years, so they're very highly developed, where Dick's car is obviously very, very new. So, you know, it's a big effort even to get it to where it is. His
second car, of course, and his favourite Sierra that they've campaigned so well over the years, sitting in behind Jimmy Richards in the GTS. We mentioned yesterday that perhaps the Asian market will see the GTS start racing over in that area. That had hurt you a little bit because you really developed this car. It was your baby.
Well, yeah, it does a little bit, but see, what happens in Japan and Asia is they'll run for one more year in the current touring car specs that we've got. So the GTRs will be sold over there. You know, they're the best GTRs in the world, so, you know, the Japanese would love them.
OK, looking at the Dick Johnson car now, the yellow front, it's unusual to see him in those colours. The red and yellow on the car represents the Shell and blue, the Ford. Look at this side-by-side with Perkins. He tucks in beside Mazzara now and wants a little bit of the action. He wants third place at least. Got the indicator going, got the flame coming out of the exhaust. Everything's happening there. Here's his view. Perkins now as he attacks Thomas Mazzara.
What Larry will be trying to do is to try and get a good run onto the back straight, but Thomas seems to be able to get onto the back straight. That big wing on the back obviously helps the aerodynamics of the car, and in the higher speed corners, as you can see here now, up the straight, he's getting a run. Onto this corner here now is the most important one. He's got a good run on in this lap. He should be able to really slip into the slipstream and get alongside.
Larry Perkins, of course, dabbled in Formula One, is a great engineer, has been a fantastic privateer for Holdens. Now he dips out of the slipstream, comes up side by side. Larry Perkins wants an act, wants a little bit of the action, won't take it there though. Mazzara shuts the gate, keeps the line going. Ah, good dogfight this between the Holdens, the new and the old, the young and the old. Oh, Larry will hate that.
I'm glad you said it.
Can get a bit testy, Larry, at times. Up he comes behind Thomas Mazzara. Under brakes. This is coming onto the straight. He'll try and get a run as he tucks the nose up the inside. Again, Mazzara gets the power down a little better. Have a look at the people here. All the Formula One drivers out enjoying this. The big V8s of Australia thunder down here on the streets of Adelaide as they come round this chicane area. This is tough work for the big Holdens.
Well, it is, and as you can see, the car of Thomas's is a very, very good package. It's a very new car, and, you know, obviously they've done a pretty good job to get it to where it is. It doesn't look like it's doing too much wrong, does it?
Looks really good on the road. Surprised that Peter Brock is not as competitive, but I know the budget isn't as big, but I'm sure he'll come back before the season of 93 is underway. But right now we're looking at this, guys. Look at this. Mazzara's car, the tail swagging all over the road. Perkins keeping the pressure on. Through the back markers they go.